Hey guys, Moldran here. There's been a lot of talk about Endgame Reaper of Souls, and today I want to show you 3 different ideas that community members of Diablo, like just players like you and me, came up with. They put a lot of effort in those, and I want to just show them around and talk a bit about them because I think those are fantastic suggestions for the game. Now, the first one is from Damien John, Diablo fans. You can see like it's amazing like how he set this up. Like he made own graphics for his idea. So for example, right now with the campaign mode, the adventure mode, and he would introduce like the challenge mode, which is kind of like the Nephalem trials that Blizzard planned originally. And here says, for example, one suggestion here is a Pandemonium Tower, where you can climb unlimited levels. And like the core saying of his idea is build your heroes in adventure mode and prove your heroes in challenge mode. So basically like a lot of people are afraid, okay, if you make something really good, then people are only going to be there and won't do anything else anymore. For example, as it was the case with World of Warcraft, once they introduced arenas, no one really did auto PvP anymore, so that kind of like died because of arenas, and a lot of people and designers didn't like that. But if the adventure mode is still like the way to gear up, and this is really good. For example, it could be that in the challenge mode you only get like rings or amulets, or you only get special gems, or only even achievements or a ladder ranking, whatever. Some examples that he has here, for example, is different trials that require a unique strategy, and then for example the ranking. For example, here you can see different trials. The Walking Undead, I haven't read exactly what it does, but for example it's an area and you have to kill as many mobs in 1 minute as possible. And then it shows the high score, then it shows the clan rank. This could be like, there could be 2 different clan ranks. For example, there could be a clan rank. Okay, which clan has the highest ranking overall? So for example, you can play with group members, for example 4 people teams, and which clan like has the best team. Another ranking could be, for example, internally in the clan. I think that's how he meant it. For example, you have a clan with 50 people, and who in your own clan did the best in this Walking Undead trial. Another interesting thing, for example, is the Butcher time trial. It's probably going to be like, okay, who is able to kill the Butcher fastest? That's something that a lot of people already did. For example, they did like world first Uber boss record, who kills him the fastest, but that was just by the community. And this would like be a like setting by the game for this environment. You're walking under, and look at this mob density here. Look at the mob density. Kill incoming waves of zombies to keep the townsfolk alive. Develop new builds and synergies to maximize your trial efficiency. That's another thing, because right now the game is mostly about just farming. A lot of builds are really like centered around AoE damage, and there isn't really that high of build diversity. But in like those challenges, because every challenge is so different from each other, you would actually have to experiment with different builds and also play different builds to do well with them. And yeah, the Pandemonium Tower, as he says, I think this was supposed to be an endless tower, and the higher you climb, the harder it gets. So for example, at level 10 it's harder than level 5, and level 20 it's harder, and there's basically no limit. Like you can get as high as you can, and there could probably also be rankings. Okay, how high did you ever get, and how high did other people get? I also like this idea. It has been similar in other games. For example, I remember in Lufia, Super Nintendo, the Ancient Cave. It's really fun to play such a thing. Battle your way upwards through an ever-increasing difficulty, as I said. And yeah, those are just some examples of the challenge mode. And he also says, like here in the end, experience full challenge mode leaderboard integration during ladder seasons. So that would be part with like ladder and with leaderboards. Invite different players. Then here you can see, for example, a ranking system, the top 100, the Walking Undead rankings. You can see that in game for the season, the current ladder season. You can also see the tower then, and yeah, I really like the way like how this is presented. Unlock new effects and cosmetic enchantments, and as I said, like the rewards don't need to be like the best in slot gear for every slot. It can be, for example, only rings. It can be only like graphical stuff, like cosmetic stuff that you look better if you do well in those, and then you still have like reasons to play like other parts of the game, and not just the trials, even though they're probably gonna be like one of the most fun things to do in Diablo. Yeah, that's also a really nice thing. For example, a special trait named Bloody Feet. So for example, if you do really well in the tower, actually you leave a trail of blood in your wake, and that would be really impressive. For example, if you join a game and people see, oh wow, this guy must have done really well in the tower. You see the blood like when he walks, and yeah. Then there's a Q&A, but overall amazing idea, and it's really like insane like how much effort people who play Diablo, who love Diablo, put into like bringing out those ideas. And because people really want the game that we are playing, the game that we love, to be even better than it's now. But yeah, that was just one idea. Another idea was from Mr. Monstrosity. You can see here he also put some nice screenshots like waves, a timed dungeon, like the World of Warcraft challenge mode. If the WoW team can do it, why not also in Diablo? I mean, in Diablo it makes even more sense, because Diablo is also about gear and playing with other people, and there's a lot of stuff. Like the gameplay in Diablo is so good. There just need to be, should probably be like some systems to like get the most out of this really good game, like of this really good feeling when you slay monsters, when everything is fast. That's something that not even like the game of the year, Path of Exile, has. It's like super good combat, where everything like automatically goes off. Goblin Hunt, for example, kill as many goblins as possible. Rankings and ladders, that's also a nice stuff. Like here you can see Endless Horde, how many waves, best score, and rank in ladder season 1. Season rank, Nephalem score, those are the things that I would really love to see. You can see another ranking, 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, 4 player. Also really good. I think those are different types of challenges. Seasons, also of course really important. He says seasons don't even have to mean wiping every character completely and starting from scratch. So yeah, that's another important thing. Could for example mean simply resetting everyone's Nephalem score back to 0 and introducing new Nephalem trial maps, monsters and rewards. So you don't even have to wipe all characters, you just have to reset like the ladder. Don't know if that's the best. I would prefer like a hard reset and to transfer like all characters to like the non-ladder system, but whatever, there are different options. And yeah, rewards, he also says like they don't have to be like passive slot gear for everything, so people would still do all the other stuff. They would still do Nephalem Rifts, they would still do adventure mode, would still do bounties to get better gear. But challenge mode could for example be transmogrification gear, like in WoW challenge mode, where you don't get any good gear, but you get cosmetic stuff that makes you look cool and makes you feel like you achieved something. Now, last idea is from Adriel, and it's also a really nice idea. Like he also posted screenshots. Like I don't know how those players come up with those screenshots, but they always look amazing. Like this have to be graphic designers or something. But what it also tells me is that they really are into the game. They're really like on the edge of like playing the game and really want to help and make the game good. Because people who love the game, we don't want to play anything else. We don't want to play other games. We want to play Diablo, but we want Diablo to be as good as it can. And yeah, for example, here you have different difficulty. This in the Wave of Death scenario. Other modes that he suggests is Defense of the Outpost, which is, as he says, not like Dota or a MOBA game. It's a bit different, but you have to like defend townspeople and stuff from the incoming mobs, from the villagers. Then it says, for example, first wave comes, wave 1 cleared, and then you have some time until the next wave comes. So for example, you can prepare, okay, for a few seconds. I think 120 seconds is too much. But if it's for example 5 to 10 seconds, you can prepare a bit for the next wave and then clear an even bigger wave, as long as you can. And side quests, also a pretty nice idea. You can see here, this is what I really like, this outpost thing. It says upgrade cost, upgrade time, and then soldier's toughness. So here you have actually different options to upgrade, but I can't really go into detail in everything. That's still like the outpost scenario, but he has one last idea, which is right at the bottom. But you can see like this is just the effort that those players put into it. This is for example also a nice way for rewards, like a room full of treasure, so you feel accomplished. Mode selection, you know that. He didn't implement leaderboards, I think, but still. And last suggestion is Infernal Rift, where basically like people battle against each other and have to like seal the rift first. So for example, this is some multiplayer stuff as well, because here you can see in the bottom for example, red team's areas under control and blue team's areas under control. So that would be like some kind of nice PvE or PvP VE or something, as Blizzard mentioned, where you combine like PvE and PvP. Because I was thinking again about it, and as much as I love PvP, with all the skills that classes have, I have no idea how this could ever be balanced in an arena setting. So there has to be something else. Like, you want to battle up against other people, and two of the main ways to do that without like actually having to be in an arena or joining an arena would be, for example, the first with like PvE challenges and leaderboards, or the second with like some kind of mixture of PvP and PvE, where you battle like live against others. For example, you have to kill monsters, you have to gain areas, but another guy has to do the same. And who knows? That's really could be a really good endgame. And that was it for now. As I said, like, that's what I meant with my last video, with like the awesome community Diablo has, because I don't know many games where like the players of the game put so much effort into trying to come up with ideas that can be implemented and could probably improve the game a lot. Now, I was also thinking about maybe Diablo would be a right game, something like Torchlight did, where players would actually be able to like create their own mods, or for example that Skyrim is. In Skyrim, people can design their own mods and make the game better. And usually the game improves because even Kungen like plays those mods that are created by the community. And Diablo is such an amazing community, and imagine if those people would actually like work on the game and implement those ideas. So the potential in Diablo is amazing, and that's one of the things that like keeps me stay true to the game, because I know in the future, maybe at one time, we will have some kind of those systems, and yeah, everyone is going to be proud to be a player. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll be back.